All right, so this is part 3 of our video, studying value. Once again, value is the idea of the study of how light affects objects and how to sort of witness and notice shadows that exist because of that. Also, we started out with our handout with cross-hatching, hatching, and scumbling. If you haven't watched the first two videos yet, please go back and watch part 1 and part 2 first before getting to here. We have two shapes left. We have our cube and our pyramid. Both are going to be pretty similar in terms of approach, but the main thing we're concentrating on, once again, light source, upper left-hand side, is separation of space. So we have these different parts. If you're studying geometry, you had the idea of planes on the planes of a surface, right? So this cube has a plane here, a plane here, a plane. You can't see it, but it has other multiple planes as well, okay? So when it's separation of parts, basically means we're trying to use lines that make it look like these are all separate, all right? They'll kind of become more apparent as we go. We're going to do cross-hatching, so our hatch marks have to go on the same angle as the top and bottom of this cube here. So kind of create ourselves a nice hatching base, making sure the angles are the right way. Okay. This back's going to be pretty dark, so I can start building that up right away. Okay. And trying to make sure I have some white spaces at the edge. If it happens to you, just kind of go in, throw some short little hatch marks in there. Okay, so now we have our crosshatch. Our crosshatch can be parallel to the front and the back. Okay, so whenever I crosshatch, I can just go straight up and down. Okay, I could probably get more darker. I see a lot of white spaces still in there, so I can add that in too. Okay, so that's pretty good for that back. We got the side. Now the side will only require hatching. This is not that dark. It is receiving a good amount of that light. So once again, I have these two angles here and here. So whenever I draw my hatch marks in, they have to be parallel to these two, okay? So I can just draw some on this side here. Okay, that's actually pretty good already. Once again, I'm trying to make them look as natural as possible, so kind of going back and forth a little bit makes that so. Okay. And last but not least, we have the top, and the top is going to be parallel to these front and back. So they don't go all the way up to the top. Not a whole lot of hatching going on there because there's a lot of light. But I can definitely do a little bit just to make it look like there is sort of more three-dimensional space happening up there. Okay, last but not least, on this bottom side, we're going to be creating the cast shadow. So the cast shadow would take on the form of the cube. Okay, last but not least, we got the cone. And once again, we're going to use hatching, and we have separation of parts. This time we only have two parts to deal with. Light source is up on the left-hand side, and so I can use horizontal hatching. So we're going all the way up. It's going to be pretty dark because it's not receiving much light. So that's my initial base. I can come back in, add more hatching. And my cross hatching is going to be sort of like our cone. We have a sort of swivels as it curves. Same thing. All these cross hatch marks have to come up and hit this point right here. Okay. So for me, the easiest thing to do is sort of tilt your paper as you're coming around. So like this. And kind of keep adding more on to make it look a little more natural, I guess. Okay, before you move on to the next one, you want to try to clean up any sort of stray hatching lines you may have. This side here is receiving a lot more light than the back, so we don't really have to do it as dark, sort of medium sort of tone. So once again, hatching, and we don't need cross hatching. So that's the end of this video series. Once you complete all this, make sure you upload it to the classroom. Make sure you get that grade. And we're looking at value over the next few weeks, so hopefully you guys got the hang of it. If you didn't quite get the hang of it all that well, we'll definitely have plenty of opportunity to be studying this in the next few weeks. All right, thank you.